You'll talk to me later. Matt Weston.
Question number 2, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Speaker. Great to see you in such robust form this morning, if I may say so. A technical consultation on the zero-emission vehicle mandate design features was held between April and June of last year. Responses to that consultation are currently being analysed, and the government will publish its response alongside a final consultation on the full regulatory proposal and an accompanying cost-benefit analysis in the near future.
Matt Weston.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The industry is extremely concerned about the timings of when that's going to be and fear that that will leave them just 6 months before implementation on the 1st of January 2024. Most industry observers would say you need at least 24 months for a successful mandate to be introduced. So does he agree with me that the industry should be concerned about this and that we need to act much more quickly? And also, should the government not be looking at an infrastructure mandate to be delivered?
Well, I thank the Honourable Gentleman for his questions, and of course he'll be aware that this is an extremely complex issue because it involves manufacturers and charge point providers and energy suppliers and other players in this important and evolving market. There was a Green Paper consultation in 21. There's been a second consultation on technical issues, as I say, and we work very closely with all of those players and the industry precisely in order to make sure that when this lands with all its complexities, which it will do in the near future, it lands properly, effectively and to the benefit of all.
Sir Woodley.
The constituency of Gainsborough is 600 square miles, and even if you travel at the speed limit, it takes half an hour to get anywhere. When electric vehicles become mandatory for sale in 2030, what is the government plan to help rural areas?
Well, as the Honourable Gentleman will be aware, the government's plan is that there should be over 300,000 charge points in place by then. This is largely private sector led. We meet regularly with all the charge point operators, and their plans are escalating and will be massively supported and benefited with the zero emission vehicle mandate. So we anticipate that with that and technology advances, there will be ample opportunity for people in rural areas to use electric vehicles.
Shadow Minister Gilfer.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Last year, UK car production slumped to a 66-year low. The COVID pandemic, supply chain shortages and chaos at Dover has left this key industry fighting for survival. Manufacturers are crying out for a shred of certainty, but far from supporting them and the 150,000 workers they employ, this government is leaving them in a state of limbo. With less than a year to go before it takes effect, why is the Minister still keeping the design of the zero-emission vehicle mandate a well-guarded secret? When can manufacturers expect to finally get some clarity from the government to allow them to plan for the future?
Well, the Honourable Lady wildly overstates the issue as regards electric vehicles. This is the second largest market in 2022 across Europe for electric vehicles, and that demonstrates the level of energy and support that we are giving to it, including £2 billion of public money. We consult very closely with all of the large car manufacturers and small manufacturers who have quite different interests in many different ways, and they will be, I think, quite comfortable with this important mandate when it comes out, and they will be so because we have consulted extensively on it with them over the past 2 years.
SNP spokesperson Gavin Newlands.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Whilst we support a ZEV mandate to accelerate the switch to zero-emission driving, the government really need to get a grip with this. Businesses cannot plan, whether they be manufacturers, dealerships or fleet purchasers, and consumers are in the dark. But this chimes with the overall approach to zero-emission driving, with just over 7,000 EV charging installations last year, when 33,000 are required annually to meet the 300,000 target. So will we hear more about the mandate, the charger network expansion and equalising the VAT levied on home charging versus street charging in the upcoming budget?
Well, I'm the Honourable Gentleman aware that I'm obviously not going to comment on the budget, and as a former financial secretary, I'm certainly not going to attempt to trespass on the Treasury's prerogative on tax issues. But what he will know, of course, is that the vast majority of this investment is coming from the private sector, and of course that will itself be massively boosted by the zero-emission vehicle mandate. I met with one of the largest charge point operators only this week, and they were perfectly clear that the one thing that will do more than any other, not just to reduce carbon, but to support the development of that industry and that transition, is the mandate which we will be publishing, as I say, in the near future.
Chris Stevens.
Number 3, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, with permission, I'd like to start by offering our sincere condolences to the people of Greece following the terrible rail accident yesterday. My thoughts, and I'm sure the thoughts of the whole House, are with the victims, the first responders and all those affected. The Prime Minister has written to the Greek Prime Minister to offer the condolences of the government, and we stand with our colleagues in Greece ready to offer assistance should they require it. Turning to the honourable gentleman's question, I meet regularly with Cabinet colleagues and transport industry stakeholders to discuss industrial action, including facilitating a fair and reasonable offer for the trade unions, which I was pleased to see TSSA members vote in favour of last week. The Strikes Minimum Service Levels Bill aims to balance the ability of workers to take strike action with the needs of the public to go about their daily lives. The 12-week consultation on minimum service levels for passenger rail provide the opportunity for the public and stakeholders, including trade unions and transport bodies, to provide their views.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and can I associate myself with the comments the Secretary of State has made about the situation in Greece. Our thoughts and prayers are with them. Mr. Speaker, the Department's consultation document for rail minimum services legislation seeks the views of setting a minimum service level in Scotland, which is interesting because the responsibility for ScotRail and Caledonia sleeper passenger services are devolved to the Scottish Parliament. So will the Secretary of State meet me as part of the consultation process to discuss what the response of his department will be if the Scottish Parliament refuses to implement the minimum services legislation, if it assesses it's not conducive to good industrial relations and dispute resolution?
Well, the honourable gentleman will know that the purpose and substance of the bill is to regulate employment rights and duties and industrial relations. Those are reserved matters that are within the responsibility of the UK government. In the consultation on passenger rail in Great Britain, we of course welcome the views of devolved administrations, and my honourable friend, the Rail Minister, has already had such conversations with transport ministers from the Scottish Government.
Munira Wilson.
Number 4, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much indeed. The Government recognises that there are impacts associated with aircraft noise and keeps all relevant evidence under review. The Department for Transport has previously commissioned research on the effects of aviation noise on annoyance, health and well-being, and has tasked the Civil Aviation Authority to carry out a further survey this year. All major airports, as the Honourable Lady will be aware, are required to map their noise impacts on a common basis every 5 years, and some do so annually.
Munira Wilson.
Thank you very much, and can I thank the Minister for his response. My constituents and thousands of residents across West London, South West London and neighbouring counties are constantly having to put up with the roaring engines of aircraft overhead all hours of the day and much of the night. And there are real fears, based on international evidence, that this noise may intensify as a result of airspace modernisation. So will the Minister commit to reinstating the independent noise ombudsman and working with environment ministers to make aircraft noise a statutory nuisance so that those residents might have some redress in future?
Well, I thank the Honourable for her question. She'll be aware that there have been noise-related restrictions on major airports, including Heathrow, for many years, and more recently noise maps and noise action plans at Heathrow. And of course we recognise the seriousness of this issue. It's worth saying technology is already making a significant difference. New aircraft models have 30 to 50% less noise on either takeoff or landing. We do intend to consult later this year on proposals for the next night flight regime beginning in October 2025.
Minister Mike Kane.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Secretary of State made no commitment on the production of sustainable aviation fuel in the UK at a recent airport conference. This week, the Minister for Aviation in the other place, at a pilot's reception, said that airspace modernisation was stuck in the muck. The government's Jet Zero Council has achieved exactly what it said on the tin. Zero. Labour has a plan for a cleaner, greener future. Get your finger out, Secretary of State.
I thank the honourable gentleman for his question. He seems to have somehow passed him by that we had a detailed consultation on SAF fund investment. We have put in £165 million of advanced fuel funds to support 5 UK sustainable aviation fuel plants. That builds on a green fuels, green skies strategy for pilots that existed before, and we are planning to introduce a sustainable aviation fuels mandate in 2025. As regards modernisation, of course, this is an extremely complex issue, but of course it's also absolutely vital, in part, in order to ensure a more protective approach, if possible, where we can, to the issue of noise impacts highlighted by the other member.
Chair of the Select Committee, Ian Stewart.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. May I draw my right honourable friend's attention to the report of the Select Committee published today on alternative fuels. One of our recommendations is to build on the work the government's already done on SAF, is to look at introducing a contracts for difference model, which will help make the UK a world leader in this technology.
Well, I'm grateful to my honourable friend for the report and for the work he's doing as the new chair of the Transport Select Committee. Of course, we are aware of these calls for a CFD. He may have seen the report that published by performed by Philip New into this issue. We are already working not merely on the mandate but on a clearinghouse to support testing and certification. And, of course, we will continue to look at the question of CFDs, but the mandate and the work we're doing towards that remains the government's policy, and I think rightly so.
Kevin Newlands, SNP spokesperson.
Grateful, Mr. Speaker. Decarbonising aviation is difficult, and no one would say otherwise, but there are quick wins to reduce carbon, such as airspace modernisation, which would likely cost under £30 million, and sustainable aviation fuels, which will be the bridge fuel until future forms of propulsion. The government has provided some funding for SAF plants in England and Wales, but the support is dwarfed by support offered elsewhere. So without a CFD model in place to support SAFs, the government aren't going to get their 5 plants operating by their target date, and nowhere near their long-term targets for SAF use, are they?
Well, it's interesting that he raised the question of of airspace modernisation. He may not be aware that the environmental benefits are already in place. The introduction of free route airspace in 2021 over Scotland is estimated by NATS to save the carbon dioxide equivalent to the power used by 3,500 family homes every year. He's right that this issue is a complex one, but it's also one on which the government's taking a wide range of energetic measures, and we will continue to pursue those as we've described.
Scott Benson.